Welcome to our daily success call for Wednesday, the 3rd of November, 2021. I am here with you and you and you and you. Wow, look at all these awesome people who are here with us today. I see Ethel, Mr. Magic. Oh, you just did that, Chukwuemeka. Mr. Magic. We got the Trekkie here. Hey, Lynn, good to see you as always. Liz is back wall. Rebecca's here. Good to see you, Rebecca. Crystal, Sarah, Amber with that beautiful smile. Hi, Ann. And Leanna, Zeta, Patrick, and those are all the people who are on camera that I can see. Oh, wait, there's Maggie. Hey, Maggie.
Hey.
All right, good to see you. Welcome, everybody. So we're going to have some fun today. So I just found out that my friend Missy is a Trekkie. I did not know that.
Yes,
you think I would know her by now?
We all are. We
are Trekkies. All of us. Okay.
Well, they were on the Desi Lou, so they were part of that.
Catch up.
Okay.
Catch up.
All right, so I'm going to catch up here.
I told you I scared William Shatner at a convention. They wrote about it in a book.
Well, you know, what's interesting about William Shatner, he finally went into space. That was what, a couple weeks ago, right? Yeah.
Oh, no, I tried to stop that.
That was a few weeks back. A few weeks back.
He boldly goes where I guess other people have gone, but you know, now he's there too. So there you go. And he came back and everything was great. And what is
he
he
also
like?
has an unusually large hippocampus. That's why he seems so young.
Yeah.
And he has triple the normal dopamine of most people. Triple.
Oh,
Supposedly, right? I'm not.
He's really happy.
Yeah. Well, creative and like, let's do it. Let's go. And I guess that'll be our topic for today. So bonjour, everyone. I've got an idea that came up for me today, which was, I was reminded about as I was listening to you folks talk. And I was also just in another meeting with my mastermind group, and we were talking about the idea of being good at something and knowing that you are. And the idea that we're all making progress, and yet a lot of times people look for perfection and disregard or invalidate the progress because we're not perfect yet. We haven't arrived, right? And when does that happen? I don't know. I'm still working on it, okay? But the joy is in the journey. And now that sounds like just a cliche that I'm throwing out there because I've heard it 10 million times. Yeah, the joy is in the journey. Well, guess what? I forget all the time. I forget to enjoy the journey all the time. I do it. So I need reminders. Okay, so this is not like a new datum or a new truth or something. It's just a reminder that the joy is in the journey. If we remember to acknowledge and validate ourselves and the actions that we're taking to go in the direction that we've determined for ourselves. So underlying all of this is your own self-determined, purpose for being here, for showing up, for doing this life thing, whatever we're doing here, by learning e-commerce and providing for your family and creating a lifestyle, and all of that is something that you determined that you wanted to do for yourself. How many of us actually give ourselves credit for that? Now, you may be new. Okay, you may be thinking, well, I'm a newbie here. I'm just learning, how to do the gear bubble thing with the Etsy integration, and Amazon just sent me a bill for $20. I don't even know what the bill was for. Okay, got it. That's fine, right? You're going to learn the path as you walk it. All right. And we've got a lot of new members here who are just seeing the path for the first time. And it's a path. It's not the path, right? There's as many paths as there are people that take them. The path of print-on-demand e-commerce is one of the paths that you've chosen, apparently, because you are here. Okay, so you're going to learn the logistics of that. You're going to learn how to navigate around the rocks and climb over the branches, and fine, whatever. But who's doing it is the bigger question, right? Who's doing it? Oh, the person who has decided for themselves they're going to do it. But that journey to go from ground zero up the mountain to whatever summits are there, which you can't even see yet. Okay, that journey requires, I think, consistent validation of oneself, because right now you're not being validated externally. Now, yeah, you may show up here and we could say, oh, wow, that's a great turtleneck, Zeta, or wow, you look awesome today, Amber. And hey, Missy had 40 sales last week, or hey, well done, right? So we get a little pat on the back here and there. Yeah, that's validation. Fine. But in those quiet, still moments when it's you talking to you, is there validation occurring? So I've had multiple people tell me that, my goodness, John, you're at the top of your game with what you do. You know how to do that. You can do it in your sleep. Okay, that's nice. So I've been in the business space that I've been in for a long time, and you develop a certain amount of notoriety and whatever. But the question came up, was it like that for you when you first arrived, when you first decided, hey, I'm going to walk this particular path, online business and sales and marketing and philosophy and all that? And well, I wasn't recognized externally, right? I'm the new guy. Okay. So nobody knows, right? But I had to know. There's the trick. I had to know. So I want you to kind of consider this for yourself and internalize this if you can. When you talk to you, are you validating or invalidating yourself? In other words, are you looking at, hey, I'm a self-determined person. My goodness, I'm an entrepreneur. And whatever your motivations are, I'm escaping the rat race. I'm replacing or exceeding my income from the other business or the job or whatever was unsatisfactory, which, caused you to look for something else, right? I'm doing it. I showed up. I didn't just say I was doing it. I am doing it. Look, I have enrolled in a course so I can learn how to walk this path now. Are you validating yourself like that? Or are you consistently looking at, here's what I need to do that I haven't done yet? Here's all the out points that I need to put in. And there's plenty of them. Okay. But if we fixate our attention on what we haven't done yet or what we haven't accomplished yet, we're basically introverting. All right. So I want you to think about it like this. Excuse me. You're driving a car. So we're talking about walking the path. Another metaphor would be driving down the road. Okay. So the vehicle is a car, and you operate, you reside, you live inside the vehicle, right? That's the car. Now, when you're first learning to drive, you are typically introverted inside the vehicle. Here's the steering wheel. How far should I turn it? Where are those pedals again? Touch the thing. How do I turn the directional signals on? And there's lots of thinking going on inside the car about what's going on inside the car. But where does all the action happen? Where do all the results take place? Outside the car. Extroverted. Okay. So now as you become competent, right, you no longer fixate your attention inside the vehicle. You have more attention available because you only have so much. It's a finite quantity. You can only focus on this or that, right? So you got to choose, but you can allocate more of your attention outside the car. You can extrovert rather than, rather than introvert. You can look at the oncoming traffic, the lines on the road, the other indicators, sometimes very subtle, that will allow you to predict what's going to happen next. I should change lanes. I should hit the brakes, whatever, right? And you did that because you became extroverted. You were no longer introverted on, I hope I'm doing this right. How should I hold the steering wheel? By the way, does anybody do 10 and 2 o'clock? Anybody? Right? I was taught 10 and 2 o'clock. I saw my grandma doing that once. I was like, that's interesting. 10 and 2 o'clock. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it since, like for decades, right? You sit back and you do the thing, right? And you steer with the one finger because we got power steering now, right? It's the 21st century. And so, 10 and 2 o'clock. All right. So I would say that is a more dogmatic or robotic approach, okay, to driving for anyone who's, competent and you know that you are and you're relaxed about it. You're probably not consciously thinking 10 and 2 o'clock. So here's what's going to happen in your business. I'm making a prediction now. I got my crystal ball. It finally came off a back order. And here's what I'm predicting now. I've seen the future, your future. I've seen it. Excuse me. I'm still getting over this little cough. I think it's pollen. Spring and autumn here in Arizona, the plants go nuts because there's a lot of non-indigenous plants that have been brought in, in addition to the cactus and all the stuff that grows here normally. And it like does its pollen thing. And anyway, but here's what's going to happen in your future. Okay. You are going to be more competent and yes, more profitable than you are now. I see it. And yes, that car you're looking to buy, and yes, that savings account and investment account, right? And all that stuff that's going to happen. And you can believe me if you want. And hopefully you do. Okay. Because I'm doing this for your benefit, not for mine. If you need somebody else to validate you, here it is. I'm validating you right now. You are so able. I see it in the crystal ball. Now, how did I get this crystal ball? Well, I got it just by studying humans for the last however long I've been one of them, right? So I know a little bit about how life works. Don't know everything, but I know that if you're self-determined and you're taking deliberate action towards, a goal, a purpose, a reason that you showed up here in the first place, you are going to make progress. Doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. That doesn't mean you've arrived. No one has. But you are going to make progress. Just the fact that you're showing up in these conversations daily or however long you show up here is light years beyond the people who are just, killing time watching 7 hours of Netflix a day and kitten videos and whatever they're doing, or succumbing to their fate, not reaching, not walking a path, not being self-determined about it, being told where to go, what to do, throughout. I'm talking about, mentally in their life. Steve Covey talked about this as inner directed versus outer directed people. And the first habit of highly effective people from his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is be proactive. In other words, be self-determined, right? You choose a course, right? You make some decisions. You cause thought and action to occur. And because I know you're all doing that, I can predict with certainty that you are making progress. Not only will you in the future, but you are right now. So you just got some validation from outside. You can accept it or reject it. I would suggest you accept it. I'll take all the validation I can get. Every time Missy tells me how awesome I am, I'm like, yeah, keep talking, Missy. Tell me more about that. Right? It's easy to lean on Missy a little bit. She's very vocal. But right there, right? You just got to see a little bit into my crystal ball for yourself. Now, how much do you, or let's say how much lighter could you feel as you then extrovert, right? Stop wondering, am I doing it right? And this and that, right? But as you go ahead and you reach out outside of the vehicle, in this case, the vehicle of your mind and body, your own beingness, right? So now you're impinging outwardly onto the marketplace. You're causing something to occur out there. You're moving that vehicle into traffic, right? Into possibilities, going down the road, up the path, up the mountain, whatever it is. Okay. But you're doing that without having so much attention fixated on, oh, I hope I'm good enough. I hope I'm doing it right. Right. What the hell? What is right? Right. You know what? I got somebody asked me, in fact, many people have asked me questions like, hey, what's the best email to send? Or what's the best advertisement to put out? Or how many times should I, send out the promo or whatever? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, the marketplace will tell us. Even people who are like expert copywriters. Here's a little secret for you guys. Okay. And yeah, there are people who are better at writing copy than other people. Copy meaning, the actual words of the advertisement, of the sales pitch. That's all copywriting. Okay. These guys have written a lot of crap, like garbage. Okay. And how did they get good? By writing a bunch of garbage and learning from their mistakes and then adapting into that target audience. Oh, these people like these words, right? So let me speak that language, right? And they learn how to write the copy for that audience. Here's the real estate people. Here's the insurance people. Here's the the coffee cup people, the fishermen, the whatever, right? Now, are you guys also engaged in that? Of course you are. Are you not copywriters? Sure. Every time you take a word and you publish it on whatever medium, coffee cup, t-shirt, pillowcase, whatever the mechanism is, all right, you're originating communication that someone is either going to agree or disagree with. I agree. That is inspirational. That's funny. That's, good sarcasm. That'll be a conversation starter. Sell me that, right? I'm in that conversation with you already. All right. And you impinged upon me with your product. And I like that. Sell me that. Here, have some money. Right. But what you actually did was you extroverted long enough to see what is important to that person, what's real for that person, what conversation is going on in their mind. Right. Something as, here's a really, really simple example. Okay. I mentioned fishermen, which I haven't been fishing in a while, but if I was really into fishing, I might have a coffee cup that might say, I'd rather be fishing. And maybe there's a picture of a fish or something. I don't know. You probably think of more clever things than that, but that's really basic. And I'm sure that cup exists. I'd rather be fishing. It's probably on the desk of many an office cubicle right now. Right. I saw a bumper sticker fairly recently. My other car is a Harley Davidson, which I can personally relate to. Okay, great. Now in that case, we're talking about a registered, trademark, right? So so be careful with that. But you get the point, is that somebody went into a state of agreement with that idea, that communication on whatever the medium, whatever the product was. Can you do that just like a great copywriter could? Sure. Does that mean you're going to hit every time and you've got the magic crystal ball, incense burning, whatever, where you're going to always hit every time? No, you're going to write a lot of crap. And the marketplace will tell you. So you don't need a crystal ball. But you're not going to do it. You're not going to publish if you're just sitting there introverting. How do I hold the steering wheel? 10 and 2. Where's the brake pedal? No, I mean, you got to be okay with yourself so you can go and then put yourself out there. Extrovert, go do it, right? So there's a hierarchy here, which I've talked about with some of you, called be, do, and have. Be, do, and have, right? So if you think of yourself like a battery. Okay, this is an example that just came up for me earlier today. So you've got a battery which has a positive and negative terminal. You've got batteries in your midst right now, right? In your electronics, you've got some of them probably sitting in the drawer, just to take space, just sitting there being the battery. Okay, and as long as you're just sitting there being the battery, nothing's happening, right? There's the potentiality for work, but no work's getting done. Okay, in fact, if you took a battery right now and you said, all right, so this is your entire world, is you and only you, and here's your positive and negative terminals, and you took a wire and you shorted those two terminals together, the battery would accomplish no work, but would actually self-destruct. In other words, this is the state of being introverted. Here's the battery only dealing with itself and accomplishing nothing. Me, the battery. Okay, a lot of potential there, which I already know you have because I saw it in my crystal ball. But what do we need to do to accomplish anything? We need to go do outside of the battery. We need to go do something. We need additional terminals, battery plus lamp, motor, operating equipment, right? Now we can accomplish something. We are doing something, and then we will have the production, the product, the result, the motor turned, the light came on, right? That's the product, as I get to see light. Okay. So it's be, do, and then have. Always, right? Battery, motor, production, movement, right? That's what you have. You have the movement, the motor turns, right? Be, do, and have. Always in that order. But if all we're doing is sitting around being the battery, navel gazing, if you will. Well, I got a whole drawer full of batteries downstairs. I got double A's, 9 volts, right? I got batteries, baby. And they're just sitting there navel gazing. They're not doing a damn thing, right? Except losing power over time, right? What's the shelf life of a battery? 10 years or something? Do it. And I think with that, I'll stop talking. Do it. That was a great book, by the way, by a guy named Peter McWilliams. It's out of print. Do it. Let's get off our butts. And butt was spelled B-U-T-S, not B-U-T-T-S. So let's get off our butts. But I can't, but I this, but I that. Let's get off our butts. Do it was the title of the book. Who's got some thoughts about this? Anybody? Or did I just put everyone to sleep? Which is a possibility. I don't know. That could happen. Trekkie, please beam me up.
Well, just to add to that story, I was a music major in college, and the very first class with Mr. Benstock, sitting in the room, he was a cellist, and he said, you all think Beethoven is a great, great composer. You didn't write anything bad. He said, today we're going to listen to all the junk that Beethoven wrote. We're going to look at it. He said, Beethoven wrote more junk than he did masterpieces. That's how he wrote the masterpieces, by getting through the junk. So I just wanted to add that little tidbit.
Beautiful. And how subjective, right? I don't like your coffee cup, but those other million people do. Oh, okay, junk says me, for whatever that's worth, right? So Beethoven, yeah. How about, you want another example, everybody? Van Gogh. Van Gogh sold, I think, one painting while he was alive to his brother or something for like $20. And now, half a sketch that he didn't even finish is like worth $1 million. I personally, I don't see it. I think it's crap. Okay. But art, right? Scott, what do you think, sir?
Well, I'm just touching base that, this thing of, we're in a non-measurable area right now where we try to find that measurement of, well, how are we doing, And I think I even brought that up to Adam last night, in our coaching area, because, even as successful as I feel and knowing what I'm doing, and I keep getting better at it, the feedback that I'm getting is just a like, it's not a sale yet. And I'm like, you're right. The market's going to tell me, so, our whole idea is to try to find what the market is asking for too, so that takes a development and skill itself. So each day, but that measurement area is what I've been trying to figure out myself, how I'm figuring out how I'm doing better and where to improve at when you're not getting feedback. So it's a tough area. I have to agree.
Mm. Well, right. Especially if you keep looking for validation outside, right? Which will come. I think we've said before, even a blind squirrel can eventually find a nut, right? So what does that mean? Does that mean you have to be the most expert at everything you do? No, that doesn't mean sit there and be a dummy or anything. Obviously learn from your experiences, but you outflow enough and then something's got to inflow. It has to, right? I mean, that's just law. Tide goes out, tide comes in, right? Now you may be hitting wrong target, but eventually, right?
Right. So it's those goals that I'm trying to hit. That's still a measurement. I agree,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that journey too, like you're saying, finding that joy in the journey that you're doing and finding that fun about it and the excitement, putting those endorphins into it and that creativity is still a part of it too, and so I guess if there's a measurement too, you can look at your own self-development maybe. And how do you do that too, and how do you measure your own self-development other than, because each day it's like looking in the mirror and you see that you're either gaining weight or losing weight. You really can't tell because you see yourself every day. Yet when somebody comes about hasn't seen you in a month, they go, oh my gosh, you put some weight on and you didn't know it.
Okay, well, here's the answer to that question. How do you gauge your own personal development? And I would say that it comes back to the whole idea of being, doing, and having. So who am I being? Since that's the source point for all of the doing and therefore the having. Well, how do I feel? Great question. How do I feel emotionally? Okay, so if I'm happy and enthusiastic and on purpose, right, and moving quickly because I see that I have purpose and motivation, right? Well, that's who I'm being in that moment. I would say that's a more highly developed state than the person sitting there in a state of chronic indecision or just killing time with diversions and whatever. Oh, so can you validate yourself for that? Hell yeah, I'm on purpose, damn it. I'm moving. I put 10 designs up today. I got the 5 coffee cups, the t-shirt, the pillowcase, the printable thing, and what are we doing now? Christmas ornaments. Great, right? So if we can acknowledge ourselves for having taken high integrity action, well, then we must also be able to acknowledge ourselves for being the person who would take such action. Be, do, and have, right? So
And
there's
that's
the
deep.
barometer. Mhm.
That's deep, but it's true. It's what I'm doing every day. But it's
Thank
what
you.
I'm doing every day. And
Well, there you are.
so it's a wraparound of that validation of what you're doing every day when you're looking for that external deal that you don't
Mhm.
see, but it's there. It's going to come
Right.
eventually. Right.
But here's the thing, Scott and everyone. So in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he talked about 13 principles. Number 13 was the sixth sense, the hunch, the intuition, right? The sixth sense, which all these top people, Henry Ford and Tom Edison, these guys seem to have it. Okay. Even though if you look at Edison, he failed to make a light bulb 10,000 times, right? So that's not terribly intuitive, although eventually he got it. He intuited that these things are possible and I shall have it. Okay. But he got a hunch. He got a hunch one day, and the hunch was, if these filaments keep burning out, oxygen, burning, combustion, metals getting too hot, pull the air out of there, suck the air out, vacuum, light bulb, baby, we're in business. Okay, so that was the trick. How do you come up with intuition? You get good at doing the other things, which are conscious, Okay. So yes, we put out the cups, we did the thing and it bared fruit or not, right? But we've got into a state of momentum where now, because we are people who move, we've become someone who is about movement. Here comes an idea. I could sell that. And then don't question it. Don't question it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Right? That's what Napoleon Hill said in the book. You start intellectualizing about these hunches, you lose. You lose when, you know, the goddess of good luck smiles upon you. The muse gives you the right
Yeah.
words.
Right.
Write it. Right.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Don't
Right.
think about it. Just do it. Yeah.
Which may have exactly nothing to do with coffee cups. Exactly nothing. Okay. Okay, fine.
It's true.
Look, I'm not married to methods. I'm married to results. Right. So, all right. But who gets the hunch? The person who's in action. That self-determined person. The person who isn't sitting there navel gazing like my batteries are in their drawer right now. Okay. Any other thoughts on this today? I see Deborah's got her hand up, and I think I saw somebody else actually put a physical hand up. Hey, Deborah.
Hi, John. I just want to ask a question. Are you talking to me or is anybody else with us today?
No, it's just you and me.
Thank you. That's good. A good session.
Thank you.
Thank you. I needed all of that.
Me too. I this is all for me. You get to listen in, but I need reminders all the time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Deborah. I think I saw Alec wave at me. Alec, did you want to say something? I can only see a couple of people on screen at a time here. Alec, yes, sir. Or Alex.
Oh, no, I was just saying, hey, I'm glad to be here.
Glad you're here, sir, as well. Glad you're here. Alex, ALEC. Alec, did you have a comment? I saw you waving or something. Do you know how to click the buttons on the clicky thing? Do you know how to do that? No?
Sorry about that. I didn't know
there he
that
is.
this thing was turned off.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, but I jumped in late on your on this whatever little lecture you're giving,
Mhm.
and the very first thing you said I thought was just amazing. But just do it, which I do. I have felt a problem with that around where I live and around my area, just getting to know a lot of different people. And I've gotten very uncomfortable with the word wait, because that's what
Oh.
everybody wants to say. Like, oh, you know what? Just wait real quick. We'll do it right now. Just wait. And I am a very impatient person. So when people tell me that, it's like, yeah, but wait for you means tomorrow. I don't want to do this tomorrow. I want to do this right now. And so I do have a very big problem when people do tell me to wait, because everybody that says, well, from my experience, everybody that says to wait, I've just come to learn that wait is a nice way of saying, I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to wait till you forget about it.
Well, there you go. And you're conscious of that. So you've got an eye on your own emotional state as it relates to that word. By the way, that's my least favorite 4-letter word. You know what my favorite is? I know you're new here, Alec. You know what my favorite 4-letter word is?
Yes, sir.
Done.
What is that?
Done. D-O-N.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Done. Done is my
Done.
favorite 4-letter word. I've got other 4-letter words I like too, but done is my favorite. Okay. And wait is my least favorite.
That is a
Don't
very
friggin' tell me to
powerful
wait.
word.
Yeah. There you go, man. Glad you're here. You're in the right place, Alec. Yeah. That's Alec, everybody.
You know what? Everyone has always told me, you know what? Why are you walking so fast? Why do you like you're always in a rush? And it's like, because you tell me to wait, and waiting, from my understanding, means it's not even to be considered. So that's why wait to me is a very bad word. It's one of the worst words you can
there it is.
say
well,
right now.
We have so much agreement between us, Alec. Welcome to the crew. And my time's too valuable to wait. So we're gonna not wait. We're gonna get something done. I like done.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
it's good. All right, we got to move on. Glad you're here, Alec, and we'll wrap up with Amy, and then I got a meeting I got to run to. Hey, Amy, what's going
Yes,
on with
sir.
you?
Hi, I just have one quick question. My husband and I don't Facebook, and that's because I work for a prison and I'm easily found. So, is it a big deal in this particular program not to have to be on Facebook to ask questions?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, you can go be pretty much whoever you want on Facebook. In other words, have a business account. Which what's the name of that beautiful dog?
Oh, Sable.
Sable, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Sable Marketing, and it's a picture of the dog, and go be Sable Marketing or something.
All right, just
Right.
fake it till you make it. Okay, that's
Well,
all
no,
I
it's not a fake it kind of a thing. It's just anonymity, right? Is all it is, right? You don't have to put out there, oh, and my name's Amy and I live in such and such town and here's my social security number. No, don't do that. Don't do that, right? So you can be as vague as you want to be and still operate with, those platforms to whatever degree you need to. I'm hardly ever on Facebook, just so you know, but it has its uses. So I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you.
Awesome, my friend. Very good. Well, with that, let's go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to be back here with you guys on Friday. And even though we got to meet Sable today, please bring Sable back on Friday, because on Friday we have Fun Friday, which is somebody's telling a joke. We got dogs, we got cats. We're just going to have some fun on Friday and wear a Hawaiian shirt or something. Oh, wait, this Friday is the first of the month. So it's formal Friday. Shirt and tie, everybody, or, evening gown, whatever you like. Okay. So formal Friday this week. I'll see you guys real soon.